name is Ezra.
My name is Sue.
I'm Lucas.
And today we're going to talk about consent. Yes, no, and grey area.
Wow. Switch it up. Oh, consent. Okay.
So, what is consent? You can go, Sue.
Why I have to define? Consent is... Okay, let's talk about consent, not just like what we always know, which is in sex, but also consent in terms of information or just general practices. So for example,
Usage of my image or my likeness.
Yes, consent that we have to sign. So that one standard lah.
Consent formula in primary school and secondary school.
No.
So you can go to school through.
Okay, so
Yeah, correct, sure.
Yes. Okay.
And also like, for example, usage of phone. Whether you will let your friend use your phone.
That's consent.
Yeah, of course, like, if not, why not just take your phone now and just like,
Yeah, that's
would you
Okay,
like me
that's
to
true,
go
that's
through your
true.
photos right now?
Okay, but on the topic of consent, recently there was the Anime Fest, and I heard that there were a few content creators going around and sticking a mic
microphone to
people's face and asking very weird questions. And apparently, from this is what I heard, it's in very bad taste, and it was more like he was trying to make fun of his subjects.
Oh, I think like.
And I think this guy is quite
it the
notorious.
same guy
Yeah.
for the pink dog?
Yeah.
Oh, that.
So
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
I remember. Yeah.
And then,
I remember.
okay, so for us in this industry, we always have a talent release form. That's where we allow the broadcaster to actually use our image. And I'm very strict about that. Like, if someone sticks a camera in my face, like, you're not allowed to go around taking videos of people and like using their image to, if he's going to put it on YouTube, earn ad revenue, you know what I mean? So I think we really, especially with like the smartphones, and I think it's really becoming a big thing whereby we have to prosecute people who are using it for
We
this
take it
kind
down a notch.
Okay.
What if somebody just take a video of you and post it on Instagram?
Okay, it really depends if like a friend, sure, but I feel like the type of contents where like people go on the street and asking questions is quite
that's
common.
another level because it becomes commercial.
And am I a public figure? Because if you are a public figure, you kind of have to get used to it. No, this has been disputed. So they were fighting against the paparazzi, and the paparazzi won. Because if you are a public figure, you have to understand that the
This is your
media,
life.
and the media is giving you money.
But what exactly is a public figure? Like how much do you have to be earning, or how popular do you have to be until you consider a public figure?
Yeah. Okay, these are questions that I feel like with with social media and influencers, like influencers, public figures. If you're influencer, you saw an influencer in the restaurant, can you sneak a photo like that and like post it and say, oh, I met him, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's kind of iffy also,
so
right?
that's a grey area, right? So that's where I feel like the consent is the grey area. But what are the kind of consent that would you say is like definite yes or no? There is no binary.
Sex.
Sex.
Yeah. So recently, I think there's also the viral, the Instagram, it's going viral.
And you accidentally
Yes.
recorded like a
Yeah, my ex recorded me having sex, and this is what the school did. So that's consent. I mean, that's how can you feel even if that person's by right you say is your partner, like she said no.
I feel like nudes also can be like consent too.
Maybe it's also a no technically. Or is it?
How do you know?
Possibly that's where a lot of these cases of sexual misconduct or sexual assault or rape are being contested for, right? Because it falls under the grey area. But I mean, ultimately you shouldn't victim blame lah. But there's so many instances of this, so I'm just wondering, like, is there any grey area per se when it comes to the things that you would say definite yes to then?
Yeah.
Right? That's why. I mean, if you're intoxicated,
You can't even say yes or
you
no.
can't say yes or no.
Yeah, you're under the influence. You're not even. If you're intoxicated, you cannot sign. Your signature means nothing.
And you're not aware of what you're doing.
Yeah. So can you really be a consenting adult if you're drunk?
Okay, let's say.
What if they're both drunk?
Yeah, you see, but still no.
Right, exactly right.
That's why maybe just don't get. Okay, I shouldn't say that.
Yeah, exactly right. Like, don't get drunk. I mean,
But yeah, to ask, but I forgot. Okay, let me think. Never mind, go on.
Okay, personal consent
Oh yeah.
experiences.
I can't
What do you
think out of
mean
my
in terms of
in terms of what?
Like, have you ever felt that someone has crossed the line and you have explicitly said no, but they still push?
Oh yeah, I mean
continue
there are
push the boundary?
instances where there were certain people that makes me feel uncomfortable. Their physical touch and they have a history of being a bit too touchy or inappropriate. They make me feel uncomfortable. I told them no, but I say it nicely, and then they try to like just jokingly like it's just what's no big deal, and then that kind of accumulate into something like I feel was borderline quite harassy. So and then there were several people that experienced it in the same context, so we finally have to speak out against the person.
I feel like for me, like my classmate showed a video of me, even though I insisted I don't want to be recorded. Yeah, I think, and then I think like I just straight up told him in front of his face like, hey, don't post it on Instagram, don't record it because I asked you many times. So that also can be consent. I think sometimes also like you need some like privacy.
Yeah.
I think like, he doesn't understand that. I think like a lot of people like equate like consent like with like sex.
Yeah.
Or, like, if, like yes, it says no, it's no. But I think there are also a lot of consent also, and especially like in the theatre world where like sometimes also I need to ask you first if I can touch you to make
Yes,
it
of
Yeah,
course.
for sure.
Yeah, nowadays there's like
correct, and there are like stories whereby like dance instructor like would touch like the students like in uncomfortable areas, like even though like there's no consent to be asked, because like a lot of students trust these adults, but sometimes also like it's
Especially kids also.
yeah, kids also. So like sometimes like what I always do is like before I touch someone I to ask them if I can touch them, like through like acting or through dance. But I think a lot of people doesn't like practice that in the theatre scene. So
yeah, it's especially I've been dancing since I was 8. Yeah, so I understand where you're coming from.
Yeah.
So it's like things that we as kids we were like, okay, I understand. He touches everybody. Doesn't mean it's
But
okay.
it shouldn't be the case.
Yeah,
right?
it
That's
shouldn't
why
be the case.
Consent should start from really young. We have to teach the kids because then we've been touched since young, so we thought it's normal. But then at the same time, also makes us feel uncomfortable. So our body knows when we're uncomfortable, and we should actually honor our own instinct rather than being like socially likable person.
Yeah, I think education is key. Yeah, so tell us any experiences you had with consent. Like,
If you consent.
if you consent to it, okay? If you consent, don't feel pressured in the comments down below.
Yeah, and new video every week.
Say people, say yourself, both perspectives. Bye!